everyone stick with us versus herd. We're back with the UvH watch list. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell below, hit subscribe. I definitely appreciate you guys. We're going to be covering some of the stocks that I'll be trading tomorrow, probably this week. And if you want to join the UvH fam, I'm in the Discord a lot. It's free. Link is below, along with our free option trading group on Facebook. So without further ado, let's get into it. Volatility has been drying up a little bit as we've been closing the weeks, the days flat. Like on Friday, SPY closed flat. Today closed flat again. We were only up 15 cents, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, does a lot happen intraday. We did gap up, we did go red on the day, but we made quite a bit of recovery. I'll be trading. I currently have a SPY position on. I have the 298 calls for Wednesday expiration, so I'm in a trade already. Only paid 89 cents for that, I believe. So we're up a little bit of money, like $5 on it. Not anything to brag about, but right now it's chilling at like 298.15. We'll see what happens tonight, see where it goes. But this close was pretty crazy. Went from 297.50 all the way up to 298.25, and then we closed out at 298.20. The one reason why I've been very cautious of shorting SPY here is to ever since we broke 295, it still looks a little bit bullish to me. It looks like we might want to make a run for 300. And at the end of the day, the stock market wants what the stock market wants. If it wants 300, it's going to get 300. At this point, I mean, it could get rejected, but the chances are of it being rejected, I would say, for me, are fairly low. However, I am keeping my risk low, as I only have one trade on right now worth 89 cents. So even if I lose half that, like $45, not going to be a big deal. I'm not looking to turn this into a ginormous winner, maybe like a 30-40% winner. If we can get to 299, 299.50, I don't think I'm going to push it to. I'm definitely not going to push it to 300 to see if we can get up to there, but it could happen. Another one that I'm trading right now is TEVA. TEVA, they've been having a little bit of a rocky start, but as you can see here, over the past month, it's been gravitating towards 7. Was at 7, dropped down to 607, came back to 7, and I've just been trading this little range in here. It's been working out pretty well. Today I closed. I bought some calls. I bought the 750 calls at 8 cents on Friday, and I sold them today for 14 cents. So like an 80% winner. Pretty nice. And then today I rolled those up into the $8 calls. My goal is not for it to get to $8. I'm looking for $7.75, somewhere around there. And premium in here is relatively cheap, especially for this week. But the volume is pretty good. 2,900 on these 8s. The 770. So the reason why I put this on today, normally TEVA, goes up and then comes back down, or goes down and then comes back up, and it's very kind of violent. Today, for some reason, it went up, it ripped up, and then just stayed, and then just kind of slowly grinded up more. So that's why I added the position. I wasn't looking to put more money into it, but I did buy 20 of the $8 calls, which is not a big position. It cost me like $60, which is basically my profit that I got off of these getting in the ripping up here this morning. So that being said, to get into the other plays, Home Depot. Home Depot has had some pretty good action this week. Went from 220 up to 233 today, and also we made a little bit of money coming down. Obviously, it recovered pretty quickly. Looking into here, looks like Home Depot's more of like a buy the dip type stock. It did sell off quite a bit for Home Depot. Normally doesn't move this much, and then we had a pretty nice recovery coming up to 233 today. At the end of the day. If you're looking at like the 231 calls, I don't have 231, 232. Let's look at the 232 calls for today. Kind of looking at this. These went from 315 at the highest down to $1.40. So this would have been a nice win from like $1.50 right up to like 220 or so. This would have been a nice win. I'm looking for continuation here. Looks like it wants to go to 235 or higher. We'll see what Home Depot wants to do, but it's been running ever since pretty much August 19th, and just been running here. So I'm looking just to play the ranges here. We'll see if we can get above 233. If not, we'll play a little bit of the downside. I was actually thinking today it was going to go like 229 area, but it really bounced here right in like the 230s. So thankfully we got out with a small profit, but That's kind of what I'm thinking right now on Home Depot. Target is another retail stock. I mean, had good earnings, went up high, and even though if you're looking at it today, like, wow, that sold off a lot. I mean, if you're looking at the 1 year, didn't really put a dent into this. This went from 85 up to 110, and actually it hit pre-market 111 pre-market. Some poor soul bought some shares here, and right now it's at 107.95. But I'm looking to see if maybe it wants to come back down to 105 or push back to 110. Reason why I like it is, premium here is relatively cheap. You could probably put a nice strangle on here and make some money even with these kind of intraday moves. I mean, today it did move from 110 down, $2, but it's pretty one-sided. So definitely made some money here. You can see what those let's see what these 108 puts were going for. Yeah, I mean, these were going for 47 cents, went as high as $1.35 and closed at $1.15. So, there was definitely room to make money in here. You could have bought them at 80 cents, made some money. Could have put them $1, made a little bit of money. So there was a couple opportunities here on these 108 puts. So we'll see if we could play it back up to 110. If not, most likely going to play this to 105. Roku, I lost a little bit of money on here today, but it was a pretty surprising drop. Sucked bulls in, I think, a couple times. Sucked me in right here. Thought it was going to bounce up higher, but it didn't. So glad I cut losses. And then another time I tried to make a run up here, but ended up down 161. We had the puts here. Some of these puts were a lot. They were up triple digits here, like 100%, 98%. Let's see what these 160s were at open today. Yeah, I mean, these went from 97 cents up to $5. So the 160s went from 97 to $5. So there's a couple opportunities you could have bought. You could have bought this like $1 move, sold it at like $2, $2.73, came back down to $1.53, reloaded, went to $3.84. So there's a different. Sometimes I like to play the same strike, get out, rinse, repeat. But you need moves like this. But I honestly didn't think it was going to sell off this much. But in terms of Roku, right now I want to see if it stays here at 160. If not, we're going to play it to like the 150s. We're going to play it right here. It could easily. I mean, you got to be careful about Roku because anytime I short it, I know that it's very short term, especially recently. So I mean, we could have a couple down days and come back down to 130, which I would love to see, and I think a lot of people would love to see, but. Realistically, I don't know if that's gonna happen. So we'll kind of see. Obviously, we're gonna see what happens, but I'm gonna see if it breaks this 160. I'm gonna play the 155s. I think right down here. They're like 220 right now, so I'll play the 155 puts if we break the 160s because it might get it's hard to say. I don't know if this was like a bunch of institutional buying or just a bunch of retail traders buying. But if it's like retail traders buying, they're gonna get spooked and they're gonna drop this. I think this stock had a lot of FOMO behind it. I mean, they had a lot of good news, but I think there's a lot of FOMO behind this stock. So I don't know how strong this is. Every time I think that it gets weak, it keeps going higher. So we'll see. This is the biggest red candle it's had in a very, very long time. So we'll see. We'll see if there's continuation on this going into tomorrow. But I think there's going to be some opportunity there. Whether it drops or rips back up, I mean, I think I'll play the 155s or the 165s. We'll see what happens. And then BYND is pretty interesting to me right now. We made some money in here today a couple times on the 145. I was playing the 145 puts on here earlier today. Some nice action in here. Inflate, deflate, inflate, So I played these a couple times, made a little bit of money in here on the 145 puts. And one thing I'm interested in here is like the 145 area right here where it bounced, or like the 142 area. Let's see if it's going to retest this. If not, I mean, if it can't get above this 150, I mean, I think it's going to be in a downtrend. So we'll see if we can get to like 145, 142 area. And then if it doesn't hold the 140 area, I mean, there's a lot of room to drop here. There's a lot of room. So there's a gap here from 102 to 120, and then we have a little bit of room from like 140 down to 127. So we'll see what we can do here. But if it can't catch this, we made money on the 145 put. I did buy the calls today, but I lost like $15 on the 152.50 calls, and it couldn't do it. Could not do it today. So BYND is definitely in play, so we'll see if we can make some money, whether long or short. But that's kind of what I'm looking at for tomorrow and the next couple days here. So if you watch this video to the end, I'd appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below that you watch this video to the end. I want to see who you guys are, see who the UvH fam is. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to get notifications and you want to subscribe and hit the bell. You guys stay safe, stay green. It's us for cert.